Hello and welcome to this new section on double checking your best career options so that you can make right career choices. So the purpose of this section is to give you some good understanding of the process that can help you double check your best career options to make right career choices. So how can you double check your best career option that you've so far evaluated? And in this module, we will specifically talk about few things like why should you double check your best career option? Isn't the evaluation good enough? Then we will talk about how can you double check your best career option and what would this double checking look like? That's what we will do in this lecture. So why should you double check your best career option? You have set career objective, you listed your options, and you have evaluated your options. Isn't that good enough for you to decide what is the best career for you? Why should you need to double check best options? Let's take a look at that. See, our evaluations so far only look at which career option best meets our career objective, right? It does that. And you could say that, isn't that good enough? Really not, because there's more to it. We also need to consider the risk associated with choosing the options and balance rewards with it. So life is all about balancing your risk and reward, right? So while you've evaluated your options and chose and evaluated and selected the best based on which meets your career objectives, you need to also consider what are the risks involved in making those choices and what are the rewards and are they balanced, right? So that's why you need to double check your best career option, the chosen one. So the question there then is then how can you double check your best career options? Is there a set of steps that one can take? Sure, let's take a look at those. So first you need to begin by identifying what are the adverse consequences for your best options evaluated and identified so far. And how do you do that? How do you identify the adverse consequences? And what does adverse consequence means? It basically says that if I choose this option, what can go wrong? So first step I do is to identify for each of my best options, begin with the best option, pick the best option, and ask what could go wrong in the short term and long term if this was the choice. And with that, you will come to an answer, and there you assign a probability of occurrence. How likely is this going to happen? And what is the seriousness of this happening on a high, medium, and low scale, HML scale? Right. So that's the next step in this. Then what you do is you repeat this for all the best options. So like this, for all your best options, you would have identified the adverse consequences and assign a probability of occurrence and seriousness level on HML and L. Then you make the best balanced choice, right? And how do you make the best balanced choice? You ask if we are willing to take the risk for the alternative with the highest gain. So there will be a choice that there'll be an option with highest possible gain, and then you need to ask, am I willing to take this risk? Whatever risk I see here, am I willing to take that? And if no, then you consider the next best option with the highest gain as the uh, your best option to pursue. And select the best option that balances the gains with the risk. And this is how it could look like. You know, this you could use a simple 2 by 2 matrix like this, in which you have risk on high, medium, low on the vertical axis, and on horizontal axis you have levels of reward, and you map it, and your accept your the best choices, best career options with balance of reward and risk are the green, where your level of reward is medium and high, because low you are really not interested, and the risk is between medium and low. Anything with high risk, you would exclude that. So that's how you do the double checking, right? So let us take a look at what would this double checking look like in the case that I've been running through you, my own personal case of making a choice. And there, if you remember, there were three core objectives, two core objectives, which we had rated the three options: scientists, MNCs, and management. And we had seen MNC was the most preferred option, management education second, and scientists being the third one on each of those evaluation, objectives, career objectives, and overall basis. And then we had used come to this conclusion using the passion, strength, and value. So how would the double checking look in this case? Let's take a look at that. So, you would start by asking the same question. For you'll start with the first row, your first choice of MNCs, and then you ask the question, what could go wrong? And your answer could be, hey, I could get fired in MNCs because they are a hire and fire company. Then you assign the probability. Is it going to happen all the time? And you come to conclusion, no, I think it's a medium probability, but the seriousness high. And the question that you ask is, am I willing to take this risk? And the answer, my answer was yes, yes, it is serious enough to get fired, but the probability is medium. And with my hardworking nature and a little bit of intelligence that I have, I should be able to avoid getting fired. The second option then you look at is the management education, in which what could go wrong is that there's not enough challenges, so you could get bored. The probability is high, and the seriousness is high because you'll have to leave, and hence you're not willing to take this risk because it's going to be no starter, right? And so is for scientists. So like this, you figure out what are the risk and balances, and that you map it, and then you see that the management education and scientists come on the high risk side with low level of reward, and hence they're outside the bound of a balanced reward and risk spectrum, whereas MNC falls right in the center with the medium and with high level of reward and medium level of risk. So that's how you can double check. So you apply a sanity check to the best options that you had, 1, 2, and 3, and choose MNCs, which happens to be the best option also. So what did we learn in this module? So we learned that we need to double check our best career options to basically ensure that we have considered the risk involved in them and selected the ones that has acceptable reward and risk here. Here we bring in the risk and reward perspective. The second thing we learned that we can do this by identifying the adverse consequences of choosing each of the best options, assessing the probability of occurrences and seriousness of happening, and then make the best balanced choices with the ones that offer the best reward at an acceptable risk. And if we look at the example that I've been taking you through, this is what it would look like. And there we would see that the MNC option comes out as the acceptable reward and risk, while the management education and scientists fall outside the acceptable reward risk spectrum. So that's what we learned in this module. So what is next for you? Take a look at the paid expert level version of this course with more content, AI role plays, and assignments to help choose a career for yourself, and many downloadable resources. So thank you so much for watching this lecture on double checking best options in this course, right career options, right career choices. I hope you continue to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.